In the main, the problem we've had with the government on this issue is a lack of cohesive strategy, a lack of planning, a lack of consideration for many users of the road. With 40,000 cars on our registered vehicles in Gibraltar, with an ageing infrastructure, this is not the right time to make decisions like that. Decisions should be made with constructive dialogue, advanced preparation, so that you can make decisions about the environment and take those decisions when you're armed with that information. I think it was a bad decision then. I welcome the decision to reverse it now. But in the future, we really must consult widely, do our homework.
Isn't that what the government did already? Its consultants spent years data gathering for the Sustainable Traffic, Transport and Parking Plan.
Well, look, I've read that StTP plan, and many people have, and really I don't think it says very much apart from mind-boggle people with detail, which actually doesn't help the public make a decision on it. £500,000 for this report. And what the best they've managed to achieve out of it is to close an artery, cause massive chaos on our streets, disrupt the people of our community without the thought and care that should have been gone into it in the first place. And we repeat that message, and we think is a victory for the people who have stood up and said, enough is enough of this chaos. Please return it back to normal, go back to the drawing board, and if you really want to make advanced changes, look at sustainable ways to move people around our community safely with good alternatives. Do it properly in the first place.
But the report does say that there's an over-reliance in Gibraltar on cars, and that we are increasingly going to find ourselves stuck in traffic unless the government takes bold steps to address that.
I think most people in our community agree that we want a greener and cleaner community. Culturally, we must accept that we have become reliant on motor vehicles, but it takes time. This takes years. This is not just a fanciful idea for a populist statement by the Chief Minister to close this major artery. And with the greatest respect...
Why would it be populist? It's quite unpopular.
Well, look, what he's done is wave the green flag in environmental consideration for the closure of this road and move pollution somewhere else. Quite frankly, it was the most ridiculous idea in the first place without proper planning. And that is the argument. Create sustainable alternatives so you persuade people to walk up and down, you persuade people to cycle, and always acknowledge that we have an aging population that will need to be motorised around our community. You can't do it by closing a major artery.
If you could convince your counterpart, the Transport Minister, Vijay Daryanani, to do just one thing to try and get Gibraltar to move more freely and sustainably in the next few months, what would it be?
Study transport policy around the world. Assess where we are as a community and we're using our vehicles. Talk to the experts and understand that you are not the experts. Do your homework and then implement strategy. You need time.
Isn't that what they did with the StTP?
Oh, really? Quite frankly, I invite you to read it. I invite the minister to sit down with me and read that document. No one can make heads or tails of it. It doesn't actually recommend certain things about our community and how we can move about more efficiently.
It's got a long list of recommendations at the end, Mr. Phillips.
It doesn't. With respect, it doesn't. I think the StTP was the £500,000, the worst spent money in Gibraltar. We can do better than that. Listen to the people on the ground. I meet regularly with people that have been involved in transport and traffic, and they give us great ideas about how to move about our city better. Now, can't we just listen to people on the ground rather than getting very expensive consultants to tell us what we already know? Look, they paid a consultant to look at Limewall Road and they knew that this wasn't going to work. And this consultant, we don't know how much this consultant's been paid. We've asked him, we'll find out, but to tell us what we already know. And look, the road has been reopened because of the pressure of the people of this community, the pressure of the public, and the pressure from the opposition to reopen it. Go back to the drawing board, I say.
Unless I've misunderstood you, you've told him to listen to people, including experts globally, but then you said don't listen to experts, listen to the people.
I disagree. What I am saying to you is this community needs to understand how we move about the community. We want to encourage more usage of the buses, more usage of cycle lanes. Have you seen in this community, you put it to me, listen to the experts, have we seen a trial pop-up scheme of bicycle lanes on our main streets? No, we haven't. Why aren't we doing those kinds of things? We need to learn from other people, yes, but we also have to listen to the people and how they move around our community. We don't do that enough.